There we go, that's better. So, good evening, boys and girls. Aye, this is much better. Aye, having it in the big telly is much better. Right, so, before I go anywhere, as the title says, this will be the last Scotland the Grave. Reason being, I'm running out of material. Trying to find stories that are new, and we're only a wee country, we really don't have that many stories, so thank you very much, Mr. Modman. See, I'm getting better with the mic. I've just noticed all you can see is the big blue thing behind me. That just looks so weird, but not to matter. So, nope, wrong way. That's better. Right, so, before I go any further, I must remind everybody here that this story is strictly for mature audiences only and not suitable for viewers with a nervous disposition. If you are new at the channel and you like what you see, then please hit the follow button so that you can see whenever I go live. For any previous stories that you may have missed and want to catch up on, then check out my YouTube channel, which is that there. Yeah, you got it. If you're watching this on YouTube and you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button, ring the bell to be notified when I upload, and like the videos. And please feel free to share with your friends, because that's how we grow. So, without further ado, let's go on to the final, for now, instalment of Scotland the Great. So, I can't print anything off straight, my god. Set in 90,000 acres of land with 120 rooms, 17 turrets and 4 towers, you only need to look at this 17th century castle to know that the place is special. So special, in fact, it has been used by TV studios for decades, including most recently being used for the popular TV show Outlander, which I've never actually watched. Not really my thing, to be honest with you, but it certainly has an appeal and quite a large audience, just not my thing. But I digress. I am of course talking about Drumlanrig Castle. Built between 1679 and 1691 by the Duke of Queensberry, William Douglas, this elegant pink sandstone stronghold was built around an existing medieval castle. The gorgeous interior includes paintings by Leonardo, Holbein and Rembrandt, collections of French furniture and carvings by Grinling Gibbons. Sorry. Oh, need to have a drink. Hey, I opened the bottle now. And my paperwork just went flat. Of course it did. Oh no, it's just so much easier having this right in front of me. I need to stream what I smell off them. So, yeah. The castle's rich history is complemented by being home to some of the jewels of the I should probably have researched how to pronounce this word. Buccleuch collection, created over 5 centuries by many generations of the Montague, Douglas and Scott families. Pride of place goes to Rembrandt's An Old Woman Reading, but with a collection that includes family portraits by Thomas Gainsborough, Alan Ramsay and Sir Joshua Reynolds, landscapes by Paul Sandby and the Dutch Masters, and cartoons by Rowlandson. The collection certainly caters to all artistic tastes. The Buccleuch collection, see I'm getting there, is particularly renowned for its furniture and its silver. Two great cabinets of the 17th century French master André Charles Boulay bring the spirit of Louis XIV to the grand drawing room, along with tapestries, precious fabrics and porcelain, all embraced within the atmosphere of a family home. A visit to Drumlanrig is a rare historical art experience. There is no denying that Drumlanrig Castle is certainly a majestic place filled with some of the most stunning pieces of artwork the country has on display. Steeped in history and with connections to Robert the Bruce and Bonnie Prince Charlie himself, it's easy to see why so many people flock to the grounds each year. And like Culzean Castle, Drumlanrig Castle hosts many school trips each year, with stories being told to young minds, ensuring that the history of Drumlanrig Castle will live on throughout the ages. Now, I mentioned that Drumlanrig Castle had connections to Robert the Bruce. So, a wee bit about Robert the Bruce, if you're not Scottish and don't know the story. Robert the Bruce had two great ambitions in life. The first was to evict the English from his motherland and take his rightful place on the Scottish throne. Everybody knows that story. The second was to go on crusade fighting for the cross against Islam. Yeah, maybe wasn't he such a great person, to be fair. But, as back in the 17th century, so we're not gonna. 17th and 18th century, we're not holding that against him, okay? Still, by all accounts, a good man. As history tells us, he achieved the first ambition, but never saw the second one come to fruition in his lifetime. Technically. Because after the death of King Robert, his good friend Sir James Douglas, as in William Douglas from Drumlanrig, hence the connection, helped fulfil the wish of his dead friend. Douglas left Scotland, and hopefully better luck than me because I can't even turn the page. There we go. Left Scotland to join the crusading battle against the Saracen army in Spain. And when he went, he carried with him the heart of King Robert in a silver casket. I can just imagine the look on customs faces if that were to happen today. What you got in that silver box there, pal? Oh, nothing to worry about, it's just the heart of the King of Scotland and my friend. Yeah, no. I don't think that would be allowed these days. I did warn that these stories only for the faint of heart, and we're carrying a heart across Europe, because why not? Whatever floats your boat, I guess. Douglas was fatally wounded in the fight with the Moors, but with the last of his strength, he reportedly threw the silver casket containing the king's heart at the enemies and charged after it while shouting, "Forward, brave heart." With that, he died. But his last stand impressed his enemies with his courage, so much so that they returned the casket containing Robert's heart to the Crusaders. Douglas's heroic death inspired the family symbol of a crowned heart with wings. Now, we don't know how much of this story is true, but we do know that large parts of it are. However, whether he actually said "Forward, brave heart" remains up for debate. But the rest of it is legit. He threw this heart in a silver box at, I wouldn't say the bad guys, but the one at his enemies. That's pretty damn cool, right? Not being funny, but that is pretty damn cool. Like, I mean, this man with his dying, his last actions were to throw the King of Scotland's heart at his enemies. How freaking awesome is that? Sorry, my phone is going non-stop because Discord doesn't open, which means all my notifications are going through my phone and it's just buzzing like mad, so apologies. Really should probably have kept Discord open, that would have prevented that, but never mind. You live and learn. Now, all that being said, right, this obviously isn't a arts and crafts feel-good story about heroism and beautiful Rembrandt paintings and no. Because if it was, I wouldn't be telling it. I wouldn't be interested. I would have forgot about it when I was 8. I would never have thought twice about it. But, like all historical buildings, Drumlanrig Castle has a few ghost stories. 3, in fact. And that, my friends, is why we are here tonight. The first ghost story of Drumlanrig Castle is that of a headless lady who wanders the hallways with her head in one hand and an ornate fan in the other. Just wandering up and down the hallway. Head, fan. Yeah. Now, it's believed that the lady in question is Lady Anne Douglas, the original lady of the manor. However, there is no explanation as to how she became beheaded. We don't know how she was decapitated. Because she wasn't, as far as we're aware. But it is said to be her. So maybe there's a cover up. Maybe she really was decapitated and nobody's admitting it. Or at least they never at the time. Sorry. The second ghost is an interesting one. And it's a ghost story that children visiting the castle love to hear. And it was looking for this particular ghost story that led me into the slave stories of Culzean Castle, because I, obviously, having heard this story in my youth, thought that this particular ghost was from Culzean Castle, when in fact it was from Drumlanrig. But I found the Culzean Castle story quite interesting, so I ran with that. Now, this ghost isn't a normal one. Isn't a man, not a woman, not a child. Isn't a pet that once roamed the halls of the great castle. It is in fact a monkey. Even saying that out loud sounds ridiculous, okay? I know how ridiculous that sounds. The ghost in question is a monkey, but not just any monkey. No. It is, in fact, a yellow monkey. Even saying that, I know how ridiculous that sounds, okay? But people have reported seeing a small yellow monkey in only one of the 120 rooms. The room is known as the Yellow Monkey Room or Haunted Room. No one knows where the monkey came from, when the stories began, or even when the first sighting was. There is literally no explanation for why this yellow monkey haunts this one room in Drumlanrig Castle. But many people over the years have reported seeing this monkey. Now, I've been into stories like this for as long as I can remember, and honestly, none of them have ever turned up a ghost as weird as the yellow monkey from Drumlanrig Castle. It's a yellow monkey. I would understand if it was like a castle or a keep in countries where monkeys roam freely, but it's a monkey, or not even a normal coloured monkey, but it's a small yellow monkey in a country where monkeys don't naturally live. It's the most peculiar thing ever. I mean, the Duke of Queensberry obviously had money. He must have done. So maybe like the Marquess of Bath, he had animals from around the world brought to the compound, but there's no record of it. I'm just going to go with Jamesy because the colour is making it really difficult to read that. But going very well, thank you very much. Thank you for starting in. So yeah, we have no idea where this yellow monkey apparently came from. Now, animals are known to change colour when they're ill. Humans as well turn yellow when we're jaundiced, so maybe they had some well, I really appreciate you stopping by. You've picked an excellent night to do it because although I do normally game on a Sunday, I do my weird history, ghost stories, serial killers, horrible histories for adults type thing, if that makes sense. And kiddo, yeah, everybody has always looked at me like I've just grew a second head when I've said about the yellow monkey, especially when I thought it was Culzean Castle. I don't know why I thought it was Culzean Castle, but hell. But yeah, it could be that he just wanted all of these exotic animals, and maybe a monkey was one of them. Maybe the monkey got ill. Maybe it got into a batch of turmeric or something. I don't know. But there is a yellow monkey No, I always thought it was Culleen too. But that being said, I can't remember ever going to Drumlanrig. I have been to Culleen quite a lot, and maybe I've just assumed that it was Culleen and no put two and two together, because I still don't know when I went to Drumlanrig. I mean, it's just down the road, so obviously there's a hell of a lot of castles about here actually. God, I could do a series in just local castles. Keep me going for 6 months. Oh, oh my goodness. So, yeah, we don't know where the yellow monkey came from. We don't have any history, any records that any monkey's ever been on the property. But, like I said, somebody with a lot of money back then tend to open a pretty elaborate exotic petting zoo. I mean, the Marquess of Bath done it. It probably was primary. I imagine it would have been. They always took us to weird places like that. These places go skiing. We went to old castles with weird ghost stories. And a slave trade. They kept that off the flaming notes for Culleen, that's for sure. Right, so, Yellow Monkey. Don't know where he came from. Now the third could have been a car show. Might not have been in school. Oh well. The third story is not a ghost story per se, because there's no actual ghost. It's the story about a corridor in the castle known as the Bloody Passage. In which it is believed a person or persons were brutally murdered, and which apparently still show the evidence. Blood remains on the floor that's never been able to be washed away. So you could just be walking down this bloody passage and all of a sudden there's blood all down the floor. Again, I don't know. I mean, me personally, I think that if Lady Anne had been, decapitated, that could have happened there. Would explain a lot. I mean, I don't know about the monkey, or why she's carrying her head about, or, well, I mean, I suppose if it's not on her, she's got to put it somewhere, right? But she's walking about with an ornate fan in one hand and her, I mean, I don't know. But that would certainly explain why there's, why she's walking about in the bloody passage. That does explain a lot when you think about it. But no one knows. Hey Charlie, how's you? Right, now, another strange story that piqued my interest was the story of how William Douglas dealt with his bills. Glad to hear it, Charlie. Most importantly, the bills he accrued while building the original castle. I mean, this is a stunning castle. 90,000 acres, 120 rooms, 17 turrets, four something or others, I can't remember. 17 turrets, 4 towers. Why did I forget towers? I don't know. Artwork up the wazoo. This is a beautiful, beautiful castle. So you can imagine he would have run up quite a few bills. Yeah, most of us, we get a bill, we pay it, we forget about it. We move on. Phone bill comes in, right, no bother. Getting the garden done, landscaper send you the bill, you pay it, job done. No William Douglas. Nuh-uh. Now remember, this man's a descendant through the King of Scotland's heart at the enemy. So these guys, they're not right in here. Okay, there's something no switched on. Just saying. His way of dealing with bills. Heck yeah. Like I said, he had a unique way of dealing with the bills that mounted up while building this castle. He locked them in a box, he sealed the box, and he placed a curse on it. He wrote a dreadful warning on the cover of his account books in Latin, nonetheless. Latin. Not Gaelic, not English, not Scots, in Latin. That loosely translates as, "The devil pick out the eyes of anyone who looks in this." The devil pick out the eyes of anyone who looks in this. And the sealed box has remained unopened to this day. So, no one knows how much it cost to build this castle because there's a fucking curse on the box with the bills. Just pay the bills, don't put them in a box with a curse. This family, they're not normal. Yellow monkeys, decapitated women, bloody passages, and throwing a king's heart at the enemy. And then placing your bills in a box and putting a curse on it in Latin. There is a reason Latin is a dead language. I mean, could you imagine? Centuries ago, people having a conversation with each other in Latin. Poof, demon appears. Shit, sorry, was just talking about what we were going to have for dinner. Accidentally summons a demon. No wonder it's a beautiful language, but no wonder it's a dead language. I'm just saying. There's two languages. If something is written in, you don't translate it. Latin and ancient Aramaic. Any two of those languages you ignore, you don't translate. Because 9 times out of 10 it's going to be some creepy ass woman like, "The devil pick out the eyes of anyone who looks in this." And it was a box of bills. The family's weird, okay? Just pay your bills. It's weird. But, all in all, Drumlanrig Castle is a stunning piece of architectural beauty that should be preserved and our stories told for generations to come. If you ever happen to be in Dumfriesshire, 50 mile that way, people. No, that way. 50 mile that way. Yeah. It's always in this area. Really? But if you ever happen to be in Dumfriesshire, be sure to visit this magical place. Be sure to say hi to the little yellow monkey if you see it. I'm saying it when referring to the monkey because we don't know if the monkey is male or female. All we know is it's a little monkey and it's yellow and it's only in one room. We know more about the decapitated woman than we know about this monkey. I mean, a monkey? Oh, but, like, seriously though, a monkey. Out of all the ghost stories. Out of all the ghost stories I have done. Out of all the horror stories and a yellow monkey? Like, I'm not even joking, okay? This is the most insane shit ever. People have seen this monkey. It's got its own fucking room in a 120 room castle. This little yellow marsupial has hit that's right, isn't it? Monkeys are marsupials. No, That doesn't sound right. No, it is. Monkeys are a marsupial. But this little yellow monkey haunts that's the most insane thing ever. And I mean, I have covered some pretty weird stuff over the last couple of months. I've covered grave robbing, cannibals, incestuous cave dwelling cannibals, caves that run under Edinburgh city centre. I've covered baby killers. The first woman hanged in Scotland, the last woman hanged in Scotland. A 30-year-old man that pretended to be 17 and returned to his old high school. So I've covered a lot of weird stuff. And the little, I've even covered slavery. But the little yellow monkey in Never Strap Showing is the weirdest thing ever. I mean, come on. It is insane to believe that, but so many people have seen this monkey. It doesn't have an origin story. It doesn't have a beginning. We don't know when it was first reported, but dozens of people have reportedly seen this little yellow monkey. I mean, how high are the people in Drumlanrig Castle? I mean, is it lead paint in the walls, maybe? There's got to be a reason as to why so many people are seeing this yellow monkey. Yeah, I really, really wish I was making this shit up. I really, really do. Okay, because I'd make a fortune. I mean, if I'd made up the little yellow monkey, it would be brilliant, okay? I mean, I've got one hell of an imagination, but even I couldn't come up with a little yellow monkey in a medieval castle. Oh, just like, really? Everybody always thinks that, oh, haha, yeah, little yellow monkey died, that will be right. But it is right. It's insane, but it's, yeah. It's a good one. Drumlanrig really is an interesting story. I mean, it's got some of the most beautiful artwork and it's got some stunning tapestries and paintings by Rembrandt in the grounds, and it's got locks that you can salmon fish in, and it is a beautiful and cumbersome building, and it's set in 90,000 acres, and it's just such a stunning piece of architecture and landscape and beauty. So it doesn't need any gimmicks to draw in the crowds, you know, because people are going to go there. And then out of nowhere, this little yellow monkey. And no one, unless you've been there, right? Unless you've been at Drumlanrig Castle and you've been in the little yellow monkey room, or the haunted room, or whatever they call it, unless you've been there and seen that firsthand, no one knows the story. So it's not even as if they're using it to promote the place, to draw in the crowds, because people are going there for the architecture, for the artwork, for the furniture, for the silver, for the history, the connections to Bonnie Prince Charlie and Robert the Bruce, and they're going there for the history. And then they're being told that there's also happens to be a little yellow monkey running about this room. It's like, really? And no worries. I mean, like I said, it's one that fascinated me as well. Because, well, I need to move this camera because half of my head is getting cut off. See that? I need to move closer. No, that really doesn't help. That's better. You can see Pika now. So, yeah, it's such a funny story. Because, like I said, they're not using it as a tourist trap type thing. Because the beauty and the history of Drumlanrig Castle speaks for itself. It draws the crowds in. It could be. I mean, the family that built the place, the Douglas family, they are, well, stark raving mad, to be fair. I mean, they're running about with decapitated wives and Latin curses on bills and throwing hearts of dead kings at Islam enemies and enemies of the cross, so to speak. And it's just really weird. Like I said, it's no publicised, unless you've been there, you don't know the story. Unless you know the story, you don't know the story. Okay, they don't advertise. You need to do a bit of digging on the old internet to find it. And like I said, it's just so surreal. Again, this could also be true, Charlie. I mean, there is, the original owner did write curses in Latin. Oh, I say the original owner, the builder of the place. So it is possible. Because no one knows. I mean, there's no any... There's no... I can't even think of the word I'm looking for, but... There's no explanation for a monkey being on that land. Because surely, if what I'd said was true, if it was they wanted exotic animals like the Marquess of Bath, with Longleat, there we go, I finally remembered the name, it's Longleat Estate. But if that was the case, there would be some record of it, like there is at Longleat. But there's nothing, there is no explanation for this monkey. But we also know that they weren't very good record keepers, because we don't know how Lady Anne got decapitated, and we know that they buried their bills in a box with a curse. So they weren't very good at keeping records. So it could... Who knows? I would like to find out, but it's been centuries. It's never going to happen. And it's a shame. But it's an interesting story. Especially with, like I said, with it not being well known and not being used for publicity. It's there, it's a story that happens to be there. Could be. I mean, like I said, they were clearly horrible record keepers. And it wouldn't surprise me if it was an exotic pet. Because... Damn it. Because... Let's be fair, stranger things have happened. I mean, the Marquess of Bath, he opened Longleat. Rich, eccentric people do crazy things. like write Latin curses and throw king's hearts at people. I still, that still fries my noggin, that. And it's like, he took the King of Scotland's heart in a silver box, a silver casket, and threw it at his enemies. He threw the heart of his dead king at his enemies. These people aren't they right? So chances are they did keep a bloody pet monkey. So it makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. But yeah, you're right, they are. I mean, people keep exotic lizards and monkeys as pets. So it is very possible. But it's a weird one. But that being said, that is the end of the Scotland, the grave. That's not the end of the stories. Because next week I will be back with another story. I have got a story in mind. It is a very dark, twisted, macabre story. It's not a nice story. It is one that I've always loved. I don't know why. But it is one of the biggest mysteries of the British Isles. So yes, I am actually venturing out of Scotland next week. Now, I have got a couple of other Scottish stories, but I want to leave them for the time being, because I want to do them at the appropriate time to do them justice, the justice that they deserve. So I won't be doing them anytime soon. But next week, I will be doing a story that, like I said, I've been fascinated with for as long as I can remember, if I was old enough to read. And I've got my sister in chat. She'll confirm I was an advanced child. I was reading way before I should have been, and reading things that I shouldn't have been reading. So for a very long time, this story has fascinated me, and I have pretty much read everything there is to read about it, watched everything there is worth watching about it. So that will be taking place next Sunday at 9 p.m. And all being well, if, bear with me, oh, yeah, now, you need to bear with me for this bit, because going on to this story, now that I've got the two screens going and I'm using the bigger screen for my main, I'm hoping, why is that saying that? There we go. I'm hoping that I will be able to hook up a sort of PowerPoint for next week, so that you'll be able to see pictures. I don't know how that's going to work. I don't know if that might be too much for Spud, working off the desktop at the same time as running OBS. But if I'm no online, I don't know. I'll toy with it and I'll see how it goes. But hopefully I can get it sorted for next week's story, because like I said, I've invested over 30 years. Oh, I've got the best mod in the business. So I know I'll get it working. But, yeah, so hopefully I can get that up and running for next week, because I think next week's story would be better with pictures. But please, 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 because of the nature of next week's story, if you are squeamish, I would advise against it, because I'm going to put up pictures, because it is not a pretty sight. Just a heads up. But I'm going to leave it there for tonight. It's been fun doing the Scottish stories. Like I said, I have got another couple I want to do, but I want to do them at the right times. You too, kiddo. Night. But like I always say, hit me up either Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, Insta, TikTok, Discord, all of the above, if you've got any suggestions for stories. Anything that you thought, oh hey, I wouldn't mind finding out a wee bit more about that, then let me know. Because I do take on board, because, I mean, this wasn't my story. Well, it was, but it wasn't. It was... And then... And the ghost stories in general were a recommendation, as was, if you remember, my second cannibal story, Christy the Cleek. That was also a recommendation. So I do take them on board. So if you've got an idea, hit me up, let me know. I'm no longer sticking to just Scotland. I really need to get that bra strap tightened. But it's that time of the night. So, thank you everybody for joining me. I need to get this print made bigger because I'm blind as a bat. And for your continued support. And I will catch you all on my next stream, which will be on Tuesday. And Mr. Modman, oh crap, no, I've got capital letters on. Oh my god. There we go, thank you. So, yep, link in the chat. I'm getting good at this. I really need to get my stream deck sorted. I will get that done. But anyway, Mr. Modman will be on tomorrow night. I believe tomorrow's Fortnite. I'll be back on Tuesday at the slightly earlier time of 8 PM. Tuesday's Metal Mayhem, so it'll be a Battle Royale game. I don't know what one. Yep, Fortnite, thank you very much. But until then, look after yourself, be good to each other, and stay safe. Bye bye now.